you know, we rolled 4 lines the entire night. We played our defense. We got good goaltending, and I thought that we did a good job of coming through the first 10 minutes and staying focused. I think that was really important. Another factor to the game, not going down 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 because of the energy in the building. We really seemed to get our feet under us after the 10-minute mark of the first period, and I really liked our second period. So it seemed like we got better as the game went on.
That 2-1 win on Thursday. Also the first game for Chris Pronger as captain of the Flyers. Becomes the 18th captain, and he just seems like a perfect fit to wear the C.
I think he is perfect. You know, for a lot of players, that C weighs about 1.5 tons sometimes. It feels like it's ripping your body apart because it's so much responsibility. But in Chris Pronger's case, I think he craves responsibility. He's been a captain in St. Louis. He was a captain in Anaheim. So this is nothing new to him. And I think that this Flyers roster, too, still has enough young guys that they really need a strong veteran presence as a leader. And that's what Chris Pronger brings to the ice surface. He's an imposing figure on the ice. He's an imposing figure off the ice. And if you're wondering how he's doing physically, he followed up wrist surgery this offseason with back surgery, only got into 1 preseason game, and he led everybody in a Flyers uniform in ice time in Game 1 2 nights ago in Boston. So right now all systems are go for the Flyers' 18th captain, and Chris Pronger is one proud guy to be wearing the orange and black C.
And I'll tell you what, Bill, there's not a captain around who wouldn't tell you they like to have a good goaltender as part of the team that they're leading, and certainly Chris Pronger has that.
Well, and Ilya Bryzgalov, Paul Hogan and the Flyers organization made so many major moves this offseason, and one of them was signing Ilya Bryzgalov. We know how big he is at 6'3", 210. Yes, he covers up a lot of net, but you can read about that in the stats. What the stat sheets don't show you is how competitive Bryzgalov is and how technically sound he is. I mean, Jeff Reese, the Flyers goalie coach, loves him because of his technique. So you throw that all together, and you've got a guy that can play a whole bunch of games and win a bunch of games. But Bryzgalov was only one of the surprising moves that Holmgren made. He signed Jaromir Jagr, and in doing so shocked a couple of teams that thought they had Jagr lined up ready to sign with them. And as immature as Jagr might have been earlier in his career, he's tripled his maturity level, and I think he brings such an element of leadership to the ice surface. Oh yeah, he's going to put up points as well. And if you're wondering how he looks, and that was the big question, how does he look? How is he going to look? To me, he looks equally as good, if not better, than he did 3 years ago when he left the NHL for the KHL in Russia. I think the Flyers have the star that he always was back in the NHL.
That would be quite a find indeed. You know, you think of Jagr, you think of skill, but he's also a big guy. Not the only big guy the Flyers added in the offseason, and Danny Briere, for one, is happy the Flyers are a bigger group.
Well, I think the biggest difference that I see is a little bit more speed and size up front. You know, I didn't like how I really felt like we got pushed around a little bit in the playoffs against Boston, and you know, we saw in the first game they pretty much have the same team, and we were able to push back. You know, that's what I like about this team this year. Yes, we lost a lot of experience and leadership and a lot of goals in Mike Richards, Jeff Carter, and Ville Leino, but you know, when you add guys like the size of Simmons and Voracek and even Jagr, this is tough players to play against, and that's what I like offensively.
All right, so a lot of new parts indeed, but there are some returning players. There are some returning stars, some young players, Steve Coates, who are becoming stars in the NHL, like Claude Giroux and James Van Riemsdyk.
Absolutely, Jimmy. And you've got to be able to build your team through the draft. And the Philadelphia Flyers have done a marvelous job in doing that with Drew, #1 in 2006, and JVR, the #1 pick in 2007. Now let's take a look at the numbers against the Bruins. He had a goal. He had 4 shots. Look at the ice time, 18:06. He has just been spectacular since becoming a Philadelphia Flyer. He goes north, he goes south, he goes east-west. I don't think there's anybody as good as he is in close on a goaltender one-on-one. He does it all. He was the most valuable player last year for the Philadelphia Flyers, on top of leading them in assists, and he just continued those ways the other night. He changed the game completely around, as the Bruins didn't expect that, as one-on-one once again, little duck of the shoulder and bang, it changed that game as the Flyers went on to defeat the Boston Bruins. When you talk about JVR, he's a big man. Now look at the numbers the other day. A lot of ice time, 4 shots on net. That hitting will become more. but he's a big guy. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. He can play both left side and right side. We've learned that he's got a heck of a slap shot. And when he gets out on his skates and he goes to the net, boy, he is absolutely marvelous, especially in last year's playoff. And that's why he was a #2 overall pick down in 2007. This guy's the future along with Giroux, and it's going to be a lot of fun this season watching both these players. Don't go away. Coming up, it's the New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers.
Tonight's Flyers-Devils game is brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. By Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Wells Fargo, when you're considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far. And by your local tri-state Toyota dealers. Go Flyers, go Toyota. Moving forward. Two of the Flyers' other newcomers have wasted no time making their presence felt this fall. Wayne Simmons is impressed with his speed, skill, and grit. Jacob Voracek managed to tally the game-winning goal in his first regular season game in the orange and black. Face-off between the Flyers and Devils after these messages.
Time.
Brought to you by your local Chevy dealers.
Welcome inside our Comcast Sportsnet studios. John Bork with you alongside Al Morgani. Al, we heard the guys talk about the Flyers. If you want to switch it over to New Jersey and all the changes that they've made, starting with a head coach who spent their past 3 seasons in Florida, never led the Panthers to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Interesting choice, though, by Lou Lamoriello and Peter DeBoer.
I think I like the way he coached, even though you may say, okay, the result wasn't the playoffs. You have to look at what he had there, what they did, the changes that they made, what he went through. I suspect that there'll be a more challenging team. They're going to struggle to score some goals. I mean, Parisi's back, so that's huge. However, the Zajac injury, you know, he's got an Achilles, which we just saw with Howard. He could be back by Christmas, maybe a little later. So I think they may have some trouble scoring goals. And they have a kid on defense, Larson.
Adam Larson, yes.
Supposedly, I mean, these are all the reports, everybody that's seen him, all the scouting reports. He could be a huge, huge addition, and that's what the Devils are really looking for.
Yeah, we could see 2 top 10 picks from this past draft in Adam Larson and Sean Couturier. And what we saw from Couturier back on Thursday is a guy who Peter Laviolette does not mind putting him out there in the final minute of a game.
I like the way Peter Laviolette deals with this. We saw it last year with the goaltender come right in and play. Now, Bill mentioned it in the pregame show, Bill Clement. He did make mistakes at certain points in a game, not afraid to use him. The one issue you may have, it's a big physical game, the NHL. Mentally, to come into this game, you know, you may say, okay, it's the first game of the season, it's early, whatever. This kid's under terrific pressure. You're in a game, you know everybody's looking at you, you're the youngest guy there. Stanley Cup's in the house. You can hear the building rumble when you're sitting there in the locker room, and come out and play a real solid game. And for the coach to use him in those key situations, I really think that's the upside. The worry you may have is he going to be physical enough? You know, it's a big physical. He's going to get bigger and stronger. We'll see how quickly that can happen, though. It's a tough league to play when you're just that young.
And, of course, the Flyers will be trying to beat Martin Brodeur. He is 39 years of age. He'll be 40 later this year in the final year of a 6-year contract. Brodeur usually starts off slow, so we'll see if the Flyers can jump on him quickly and the Devils. It's the opening faceoff from the Prudential Center from Newark, New Jersey. We'll have more. The opening puck draw, Al and I will be back after the first period right after this.
Welcome back to the Prudential Center in Newark. NHL face-off 2011-2012. This is the season opener for the New Jersey Devils. Second game, obviously, for the Flyers as they go at it for the first time. They'll play 6 times this season. Great Atlantic Division rivalry. Devils, first time they've been coming off a non-playoff year in a decade and a half. They look to bounce back here this season.
We'll check out our Kia starting goaltenders. A couple of workhorses. Ilya Bryzgalov will be for the Flyers. He picked up the win in Boston 2 nights ago. Marty Brodeur, 39 years young, still a New Jersey Devil. So the Flyers start the season with a rivalry game 2 nights ago. They've got another one here, but I'm reminded that the Flyers have about 8 rivalries in the NHL.
Indeed they do. This is just one of them. Underway, the Flyers in their road whites. There's James Van Riemsdyk as he is out with Claude Giroux and Jaromir Jagr. This potentially explosive line for the Flyers. You see all the Flyer line combinations at the top of your screen. The Devils in their home reds as they open their season. Here's Henrik Tallender, the former Sabre, bouncing one into the Philadelphia zone. Back to get to it. Kimmo Timonen takes a high stick and an early penalty. Timonen got clipped with a high stick. They'll check and see if he's bleeding. But the Flyers will get an early power play. The only question is whether it's 2 or 4. There are your virtuous scratches from the lineups. Jody Shelley serving game 2 of his 5-game suspension. Matt Walker, a healthy scratch. Travis Zajac, big loss for the Devils. Blew out his Achilles during the month of August doing workouts, and so he'll be out until at least November.
So Peter Sikora, guess who's back in town and guess who's in the penalty box? So the Flyers, who went 1 for 4 on their power play against the Bruins Thursday night, try it again.
And there is your first McDonald's power play payoff contestant. As we will have that all season long. Here's Kimmo Timonen with the puck. He gets the puck to Briere. Briere around behind the net. Takes the return feed. The Flyers 1 for 4 in the power play in Boston the other night. Briere gets the puck back. Quick shot goes wide all the way out to Matt Carl. Carl turning with it at the line, right back in along, and now the Flyers set up. Across it goes to Timonen. Kimmo looking in front, goes back out now, and it's Carl. Holding on to it, his pass back across, touch pass to Carl. And now getting it to Jake Voracek. Got the game winner on Thursday night, hanging on to the puck as he can do. Back out to Timonen, Timonen out of Briere. Very patient power play, back to Timonen, the shot, and Brodeur with the save, his first test of the night. Timonen back to Voracek. Back across ice it goes, Carl to Timonen. Very impressive how patient the Flyers are here. The wrist shot there is blocked back out. Big drive by Voracek is blocked and goes to the corner. Devils trying to clear. The Flyers get to it. It bounces in front. Loose puck. They jam for it, and Brodeur got enough of that try from Voracek to keep it out of the net. Voracek after the puck again. They continue to battle along the boards. And they get right back to setting it up. Good retrieval by the Flyers. Here's Timonen to Voracek. Back to Timonen. They've had the puck in the offensive zone the entire power play. 38 seconds remaining on it. Voracek all the way across. The shot goes wide from Carl, and that one will bounce on its own all the way out to center.
The Flyers unable to take advantage of a real tired PK unit of the Devils. They managed a couple of scoring chances. You really want to keep the pressure on when you know that they're running out of fuel.
Change is made now for the final 20 seconds of the power play. Here is Jagr. Jagr moving on up on the left wing. He's checked, continues along, and then runs into Andy Green. Green is checked by Wayne Simmons. He'll hit anything that moves. Wayne Simmons was so energetic in that game in Boston. Very noticeable out on the ice. Turnover by Parisi. Flyers keep the puck in the zone. The power play is over. Devils back to full strength. Look out of the box is Sikora. There he is with a touch pass to Parisi. It's a 3-on-2. Parisi the shot, and Brizgalov got just a piece of it to deflect it wide. Jagr out to Giroux. Spin pass to Simmons. Simmons with a drag, and then the shot and the save made by Brodeur. Elias is checked off the puck, and Simmons gets it back to the point, and now across it comes to Andreas Lilja. He'll just wrist one right into the breadbasket of Brodeur, who hangs on. Good pace early.
Great pace and a couple of good scoring opportunities for the Flyers on their power play. Marty Brodeur tested on this play there with Voracek stepping out front. Brodeur thought he had it. He didn't.
And if the Devils are going to continue to just sit back and play that box and not being aggressive, then the Flyers are certainly going to take advantage of it. Now, Pronger's going to lose his stick. Let's see. He just keeps going. Doesn't matter about losing the stick. He's going to get back and be a part of that play.
It was a 3-on-2, but only one player back at a stick, and the Flyers able to even tell about it as the shot was knocked aside by Brizgalov.
I'm not sure that Zach Parise knew that Pronger was without a stick because he had a 3-on-1.5, really.
Peter Laviolette looking on, 10th season as an NHL coach, his third with the Flyers, second full season with the Orange and Black.
Our Verizon Wireless keys to the game. Peter Laviolette knows that he's got to get his guys to stay close to Ilya Kovalchuk. I mean, give him open ice, and that's when he winds up. The other thing the Flyers want to do is show off their speed. This is a faster team, the fastest team that Laviolette has had here behind the bench. wasn't that happy with how fast they played, though, 2 nights ago. So they really want to showcase their speed. To do that, they have to move the puck very quickly.
Devils line combinations and defense pairs appearing at the top of your screen as the Flyers move the puck to center. Talbot checked by Anton Volchenkov, who knows how to hit. The puck pops free. Here's Kovalchuk. Winds and blast. Stick save by Bryzgalov. Here's Tedenby to the puck. He takes a hit, but the Devils had a chance to keep the puck, but Kovalchuk beaten to it by the Flyers, who get control. And now Coburn will twist it back. We played just over 3.5 here from Prudential Center. Glad you could join us on Comcast Sportsnet for the Flyers and the Devils. Game 2 of the season for the Flyers. They'll open their home season on Wednesday against the Vancouver Canucks, also on Comcast Sportsnet. Here is Sean Couturier. He'll dump the puck deep into Devils ice. Takes a strange carom. Brodeur reacts. Tallender sends it to the wall. Couturier's over after it. Hartnell there as well. They jam it back. Pronger wristing one. Batted away by Brodeur. Back out toward the point it goes, and it's tipped out to center by David Clarkson, and down the ice. This will be icing on New Jersey. Pronger back for the touch-up. New head coach for the Devils. That is nothing new, Bill. There he is, Pete DeBoer. They have, they've had a lot. 9 coaching changes since they last won the Cup in '03.
Peter DeBoer, the head coach from the Florida Panthers for a few years before being let go by Dale Talon and being signed by Lou Lamoriello. I think he's a good coach that was with a bad team. I think he's got a chance to do something here behind the Devils bench, especially if he's got a healthy Zach Parise, who only played 14 total games, and a rejuvenated and refreshed Ilya Kovalchuk, who hit his 30-goal mark last year, but for a while it looked like he wasn't even going to get 10.
He had a good second half. This team, we talked about this when the Flyers played the Devils in the preseason. We have a whistle here, and Clarkson and Yager shoving away from the play here, but they're separated by the linesman. There's Kovalchuk with those great numbers. And one of the other questions for this Devils team is Marty Brodeur. He'll turn 40 next May. Pains me to say. We're all getting older, but will he be back for another season, Coach?
Oh, sure. I mean, he's still as good as a lot of the goalies in the National Hockey League. But here's my question. You're going to know the answer to this because you were in the organization at the time. Who was the last guy to start a game before Brodeur?
You mean start a season opener?
Yeah.
Turk Broda.
Sean Burke.
I'll tell you what, that's a good guess. We'll give you that one, Billy.
All right.
Sean Burke? Was it?
Well, what's the answer, Coach?
I'm looking for you for the answer.
I gave you a guess, Sean Burke, but I'm not sure.
I was going to say Chris Terreri.
Yeah, Chris Terreri was around at that time as well. Sean Burke took the team to the playoffs just before Marty made his appearance on the scene back in 1993. By the way, 1993 also the last time the Flyers started the season with 3 rookies in their lineup, as they did this year with Matt Reed, Sean Couturier, and Zach Rinaldo. They had 3 rookies that year.
That's 18 years. That's a long time.
By the way, you really aged yourself there with Turk Broda. Oh.
But you know who he is too, Coach.
Somebody told me about him.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's called hyperbole.
Back to the point, a shot, Saber a rebound, trying to stuff it home. He stopped there twice in close. Flyers get the puck back again. That point shot, not much on it from Mazaris, and it's steered away by Brodeur, who has been busy early. Flyers with 6 shots already. 2 credited to the Devils. And they're usually stingy giving up shots during the counter in New Jersey, so if you got 6 this early, just 5.5 minutes in, you're doing something. Here's Voracek, tried to center. He stopped, trying to help him out with Simmons, but it's tipped away and played ahead by Nick Palmieri. He gets the puck to Kovalchuk, sneaks away from Voracek, and now Kovalchuk peels back and starts up, looks to rev it up and across the Philadelphia line, but he lost control as he got to the line, and now the counter rusher is Andreas Nodal. He'll pump it into the Devils zone. Brodeur jabs at it, but Nodal knocks it down. Nodal powering his way to the puck. And the Flyers will get set up again. Flyers have been stronger on the puck. Here's Carr with a wrist shot blocked aside. Nodal back around behind. Max Talbot's there. Talbot spinning it to the side of the net, but it bounces back out to him. And now here's Pronger wristing one. Batted away by Brodeur. Good pressure again by the Flyers. Nodal firing one toward the net. Knocked aside. Now Bryce Salvador will throw the puck along. There's Bolton. Signed as a free agent by the Devils in the offseason. He was checked. Flyers get to it. Try to center it out in front. Here's Talbot doing the work. Tries to stuff it in. Brodeur able to knock it aside. It squeezes free again. Tremendous pressure by the Flyers. We're seeing some of that speed, and now we're going to see a penalty. Zach Rinaldo knocked down a Devil with his stick. He'll probably go for the tripping or slashing as Brizgalov plays the puck. The whistle stops play. Dave Jackson makes the call. Devils power play when we return.
Zach Rinaldo in the box with the first penalty of tonight's game. When you talk about Brodeur, whether he can keep playing, he's been unbelievable. Shots at 9-3, but after an unbelievable shift, or actually a number of shifts, there's a penalty that's not going to keep Peter Laviolette very happy. And that's one of the processes of a coach talking to a young player, a very energetic player, a very emotional player in Zach Rinaldo, and say, listen, there's times to go and times not to go. Right there is not the time to go.
Agreed, and that's the kind of play that sucks the ice time out of a guy's game sheet at the end when he's looking at how much he played.
And they have talked with Zach about it. He's aware of it. He's trying to play under more control. That was sort of an effort penalty. He's trying to get to the puck. Chopped at a guy's skates. Down he went. And so he's in the box. Devils get their first power play of the season. You see the Devils last season had all kinds of problems with the power play. Finishing third from the bottom. They scored only 171 goals all season. At the very bottom of the NHL. They did get better under Jacques Lemaire as their record certainly got better, but they're still not really scoring that many goals. Good block in front there by Chris Pronger. He had 5 blocks the other night in Boston. Here's Parisi getting in front. Brizgalov got his stick in there, and the puck bounces through the slot area. Broken stick for Couturier. So the Flyers down a man, and now Couturier without a stick. Here's Adam Larsson, the first-round pick of the Devils, getting the puck to Elias. Back to Larsson for a shot. Deflection, and it squeezes wide, perhaps off of Parisi in front. Kovalchuk gets it back to Elias. Couturier gets a stick at the bench. They come across to Elias for a shot, and he had to go off the heel of his stick wide. Back out to Larsson. To Elias again. Elias with a shot that's deflected wide. Chance here to clear. Turning with it, Couturier, and he bounces it down the ice. He's 18 years of age.
Smart.
What presence to turn around and fire it the other way.
Unbelievable hockey IQ, and he got some help from Max Talbot. When Couturier was without his stick, he switched sides with Talbot to be closer to the bench to retrieve a new twig.
And the Flyers intercept the next entry by the Devils into the zone and clear. A half-minute remaining on the Ronaldo penalty. Adam Larsson around behind, so used to that number 5 in Devils red being Colin White, longtime defenseman, but he was let go in the offseason, found a home in San Jose, and Adam Larsson, the 18-year-old for the Devils, has now taken number 5. They have extremely high hopes for him. 4th overall pick in the last draft. Final seconds of this New Jersey Mad advantage. Here's Dinas Zubris. Zubris drop pass at the line, and it's dumped down low. Zakora to it, but he fans on his pass. Braden Coburn jumps in the puck. Here's Ronaldo out of the box. Ronaldo to the Devils line. He's wrestled to the boards and down by Tallender. He appears to be all right. Pops right back up. Carl around behind the net. Simmons could not catch up to that. Played up by Mark Fane. Now Nick Palmieri able to steer it into the Philadelphia zone. Brizgalov is out of the net, plays it up, but turns it over to Palmieri for his shot that's blocked. Down right back by Giroux. Nice flip pass ahead to Jacob Voracek. Voracek in, drops it back, quick check. Carl save. Brodeur, the rebound out in front. Yager prevented from getting to it by a Devil player. That was Volchenkov. Now Voracek with a couple Devils to deal with. In comes Lilia to pinch. The puck bounces across ice. There's Briere. Wind up and fire. That's blocked by Salvador. He felt that one. Bryce Salvador back in the NHL. Missed all of last year with concussion symptoms. And he is happy to be back. Better defenseman. Battle for the puck in the corner. Bounces free. Yager after it. Worked it free, but it bounced to Tedenby, and he'll get the puck free. And Adam Henrique will dump into the Philadelphia zone. Tedenby goes after it with Lilia. Lilia uses his big body to get to it and move it ahead. Briere is spilled by Elias. He chops the puck deeper into the Philadelphia zone. We hit the halfway point of a first period that's had a great pace. Flyers have outshot the Devils 10-4. And Briere will just sift the puck into the New Jersey zone. Flyers will go for a change. Elias ahead, 2-on-2. Here's Parisi. In across the line, they say it's onside. Drops it off. Backhander save made by Brizgalov off of Sikora. Sikora gets it back. Side angle try by Parisi. Was knocked aside. Green also got his stick in on that shot, but Brizgalov was there. And now here's Scott Hartnell the other way. Developing into a 3-on-2. Here's Van Riemsdyk. He missed it. Pronger will tip it back, hoping for JVR, but he could not handle it the second time either. And Elias is there instead. To Parisi, he'll spin it ahead, and that one will drift out to the neutral zone.
I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a slow, tight checking, plodding kind of game, go someplace else tonight.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Noel's shot is blocked. We were surprised by the Devils in the preseason game in Philadelphia by the fact that they seemed very aggressive and weren't sitting back, and it seems as though Pete DeBoer is going to settle into that philosophy for now with his club, and as you said, we're all for that, right?
Well, Pete DeBoer wants good defense too. He's just not in Jacques Lemaire's category of slowing a game down, but Pete DeBoer will let him attack as well.
How about the speed the Flyers are heading to that blue line of the New Jersey Devils? That's going to wear on their defense sooner or later.
That tremendous speed being shown by the Flyers in pursuit of that puck. This will be icing. And back to touch up is Lilia.
Well, the Flyers' home opener is coming up. It is next Wednesday. They're going to be taking on the Stanley Cup finalist Vancouver Canucks. The game is at 7:30. Note that start time, 7:30, presented by Kia Motors. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great night. You can be a part of it by calling 215-218-PUCK or visiting PhiladelphiaFlyers.com to reserve your seats.
Cannot wait to see the Wild Throg in South Philadelphia. It's a new season, a lot of new faces, a lot of excitement with this club, and you can feel when you talk to the fans, they're really looking forward to this campaign. And if they see the speed and skill we're seeing here in the first period of this game, they're going to enjoy it. Flyers get to the puck here. Giroux back out to Lilia. Lilia will try a shot that's blocked off by Palmieri. It's kept in, though, by Giroux. He'll fake the shot, then the pass. It went through both Jágr and Van Riemsdyk. Jágr tracks it down, though, to Van Riemsdyk, but his pass knocked down by Fane. Gotten back by Giroux. Shot! Save Brodeur. Giroux with the steal and the shot almost all in the same motion. Lilia will keep it in, roll it down low. Jágr is there. Jágr trying to get to it along the boards. Again, good pressure by the Flyers. You come your way from the Rock, they call it. Prudential Center in front. Giroux. Shot. He scores! The pressure finally pays off. Claude Giroux second in as many games, and the Flyers lead 1-0.
Just unbelievable pressure by the Flyers.
He scores, by the way, Bill, for a case of tasty cakes.
Great. He can have one after the game. Right now, he's just feeling good inside because the Flyers' pressure, every line that has come out, their puck retrieval, give them 5 stars on the effort. They're stronger, more physical than the Devils in their zone, and JVR, James Van Riemsdyk, shows it all right on that play.
And look where all the Devils were. 1, 2, 3 Devils below the goal line, following Jágr and Van Riemsdyk. So who's all by himself? Claude Giroux with an unbelievable wrist shot.
Each and every goal the Flyers score this year, a case of tasty cakes. Flyers Wives Charities involved. Claude Giroux already has 2 of them. That line potentially could put up huge numbers, and they're going to be so much fun to watch. Saw his goal in Boston. I don't know if you can have a better first goal than beating a Norris Trophy winning defenseman and a Vezina Trophy winning goalie all in the same play, but that's what Claude Giroux did. Now here's Briere with a shot. That's blocked. Gets it back. His pass is intercepted. David Clarkson charging back the other way. Clarkson pursued by Mazzaros. Clarkson using his strength to fight him off all the way around behind, all the way out the other side, and he just threw it through the slot. Volchenkov to the puck. Dropped it off. Centering pass tipped away. Good read there by Mazzaros. Got back, though, by New Jersey as they try to apply some pressure. But a good play by the Flyers there as Lilia knocked the puck away. Flyers move it ahead, and Simmons will dump it into the Devils' zone.
Flyers haven't made one bad decision when it comes to getting pucks deep. That time they needed a line change, so Wayne Simmons just flipped it in. But the Flyers have looked fast because they've put the puck into good areas of the ice and then used their speed.
Another icing call against New Jersey. Gives us a chance to tell you about the Orange Line Monday night on the season debut. Lisa Hillary examines the new-look Flyers team, plus Danny Briere tells us how he's ready for this season. And as the Winter Classic is headed to Philadelphia, the fireworks are already starting. Watch the season premiere of the Orange Line Monday night at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. 6:45 remaining in this first period. Flyers have outshot the Devils 11-5. They lead where it counts 1-0. Matt Carl getting the other assist. And James Van Riemsdyk on the goal by Giroux. Couturier gets the puck back, moves in across the Devils line. Couturier holding on now. Taken to the wall by Larson. A pair of 18-year-olds there. Back out to Carl for a shot deflected, but it went to the corner. And it was Couturier getting his stick on that shot as well. Now it's Larson. It's a young man's game now, Bill. Don't tell Jaromir Jágr that, but or Marty Brodeur, but a couple 18-year-olds out there, and they do not look out of place. Larson and Couturier.
Well, a lot of people would think that an 18-year-old like Sean Couturier could not be a fourth-line center, but the truth is his strength is on the defensive side of the puck. So as long as he's a good checker, Peter Laviolette can afford him in that role.
Zach Parise banking it ahead to Patrick Elias. Elias with speed. The shot off the glove or pad of Brizgalov. Even though it played up the wall, but that's kept in. Shot by Larson, deflected away and gotten back by the Flyers. And Andreas Nodal will try the other side of the ice. There's Ronaldo. Right back for Nodal. Off the boards. Nodal will skate it in. Larson over to him. Nodal turns with it, protects the puck, drops it off for Ronaldo. Centering pass knocked away. Gotten back by the Devils, but they fail to clear. As Sikora runs into the other 15 Nodal, and puck finally in on Brodeur. He'll shuffle it aside for Larson, and the Devils will move it ahead. And finally it's Sikora in his second stint as a Devil. Made the team off a training camp tryout this time around. At the puck through center. Dainis Zubris, can you believe it? 16 games away from 1,000 games in the NHL. Dainis Zubris. Seems like he was an 18-year-old with the Flyers just the other day. Okay, a couple years ago, but it does seem hard to believe he's at 1,000 games, does it not?
Yeah, it does.
Here's Kovalchuk moving in. Kovalchuk, cross ice pass. He's got Tallender for the shot. Save Brizgalov, and he swallows the puck. No rebound to be had. Claude Giroux at the other end. Potts is second of the year, and the Flyers have the lead in the first in North Jersey.
Top 10 draft choice for the Philadelphia Flyers, 8th overall in last June's draft. That is Sean Couturier. Excellent defensively to the point where Peter Laviolette actually has him killing penalties, but he broke his stick on this play. Flyers bench is over here. That's where he wants to go. And here is Talbot, picks a good opportunity to switch positions with him and allowed Couturier to actually get over there. There's the switch. Couturier went immediately to the bench as soon as the puck came over to that side, and disaster avoided.
Couturier back on the ice, just won a face-off cleanly. The puck goes all the way down. That's one area the Flyers want to improve on from the Boston game. Their face-off percentage, as they were at about 33% in Beantown.
Well, if you want to have a great time, why don't you come and watch a Flyers game from a Wells Fargo Center suite? I mean, it's fantastic. It's my favorite spot. Outstanding food options, wait service, private restrooms. It's affordable luxury. 215-389-9500. Visit mypremiumtix.com.
Great way to take a game in. As the Flyers move up, here's Talbot. Pumping it deep into the Devils zone. Back goes Salvador, thumped by Talbot. This is what Max Talbot is all about, digging for loose pucks, doing the dirty work. He comes away with it again, but his centering pass tipped away from Simmons. And back goes Kovalchuk the other way. Kovalchuk against Pronger. Rolling around behind the net. Kovalchuk tried to center it, hit the back of the net. Carl trying to get to it, but it's Zubris instead. Zubris to Palmieri and back around to the other side of the ice. Zubris will rotate over to it. Carl gives him a shove and gets the puck. Ahead. Danny Briere moves up. He's got help. Warcheck with him. And a drop pass for Pronger, who rifles one wide. Back out to Simmons. Jams it around, hoping for Briere behind the net, but the Devils tip that one away. And back to the point. A shot for a check and a stick save made by Brodeur. And the Devils able to get control, and Zubris will move it at Andy Green. Defenseman likes to join the rush. Just flips one in. And the Flyers are back to get it. Devils have steadied their play some from the first 10 minutes, where they seemed jittery, and they were basically being forced into that by the play of the Flyers.
Well, the Flyers have looked bigger, stronger, and faster, especially in the offensive zone. So the Devils have some work to do yet, I think, deep in their end.
Jacob Josephson overrun by Mattery. There's a little bit more of that as the Flyers get to the puck, move it in front as Reed nearly got himself free for his shot.
That's exactly the kind of play the Flyers have been making since the puck drop tonight. I mean, they have made plays by just out-muscling Devils players all over the place.
Well, in our open, Danny Briere talked about the fact that there's plenty of pushback with this club now, and they're bigger, and they're showing it here in North Jersey. Good play there by Mazzaros as he took Clarkson off the puck. Villiers over after it. He's dumped. He played it back around to his defense partner, and Mazzaros starts up. Barry Ashby Award winner last year is the Flyers' best defenseman. Drills the puck into the Devil zone. It was all the way out to the blue line, kept in by Van Riemsdyk. He'll stuff it back deep. There's Salvador. Salvador will tip it ahead. Again stolen as Who tried to center that when he had Van Riemsdyk and Jágr isolated in a 2-on-1 down low if he could have gotten that puck through, but it was knocked away. Sikora in the forecheck for the Devils. He's checked by Pronger. Play stopped as the net is knocked off its moorings. 2:05 to go in the first. NHL Face-Off 2011. As the season gets underway in earnest, this is really the third day of the season. We look at our EA Sports NHL 2012 profile. Jaromir Jágr, he's got quite a profile. Won the Hart Trophy back in '99, 5 times the leading scorer, 10 times an All-Star. And recently in that first game, picked up his 1600th NHL point. And for Jaromir Jágr, only the 9th player in NHL history to reach 1,600 points in this league. And I get the feeling he's going to get a lot more this year. He is in great shape and is clearly energized.
Great shape. He's happy, and he's got good players to play with, too.
Yeah. He points that out anytime you talk to him. Good hit there by Coburn, but the Devils continue to try to cycle it down low. Nice move by Tedenby. Tedenby trying to get out in front, and he was checked just as he got to the side of the net, but done so illegally, apparently, as a hold called by Dave Jackson. Let's look at our Jeep trivia question of the game. Which former NHL franchise eventually became the New Jersey Devils? Eventually. And your guesses? The Kansas City Scouts, the Cleveland Barons, or the Hartford Whalers?
Turk Broda.
He played for one of those teams.
Yeah. Yeah, that was as aggressively as the Devils have taken the puck to the net or tried to, and Braden Coburn got caught a little flat-footed and really had to take a penalty. Otherwise, Brizgalov had a monster in front of him.
Second power play for the Devils. Here's Elias. The pass, and Clarkson trying to get it down low. Tiedemann was ready for that and clears the zone. Coburn for holding at 18:21. Flyers have had one power play. As we mentioned, this is number 2 for the Devils. Kovalchuk to Elias, chops it across ice. With Clarkson there, spins it right back out to Larson. Now it's Elias pivoting. So long we said Elias the active leading scorer against the Flyers. That's not the case anymore. Here's Elias trying to center. It's blocked away and cleared. Jaromir Jágr's playing in the league again. He's the active leading scorer against the Flyers, but you won't be getting any points against the Flyers this year, we don't think.
Why, does he have a no trade?
I don't know that. It's quite possible.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't either. Set all the way down by the Flyers. Final 34 seconds of the period. Less than a minute remaining on the power play. Kovalchuk ahead. Here's Sikora. Rifling the puck in. Hops over Brizgalov's sticks. Reed punches it back around behind the net. Sikora tracks it down, jabs it back out to Fane. He lost it out to center, and a breakaway. Short-handed bid for Andreas Donal. Save, Brodeur. It bounces wide off of him. He thought he had it. He did not, but it does stay out of the net. 7 seconds remaining in the period. One last rush for the Devils. Look out here. Zubas the shot. Blocked off by Carl. Set up the boards. Bounces out to the slot. Nodal there to chop at it, and there's the horn. Ending period number 1. Flyers nearly a shorthand. He goes. Nodal went in on goal, but he was unable to score, whereas Claude Giroux potted one earlier, and the Flyers have a 1-0 lead through 20 minutes of play. Tonight's Flyers-Devils first period was brought to you by McDonald's. Pick up 20 crispy chicken McNuggets for $4.99 or a 20-piece chicken McNuggets meal for $9.99. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. Well, let's head downstairs. We know who we're going to talk to. The only guy with a goal in this game, Claude Giroux. Coatsy, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I see this subtle exuberance that you have, and I say that very sarcastically, about playing on a line with Jágr and JVR. You guys are absolutely on fire right now. It's got to be a lot of fun for you.
Well, obviously, when you play with two good players like those two, it's pretty exciting. And obviously, we got some work to do. And I mean, it's only 2 games, and I think after a few games, we're gonna know where the other player is going to be, and I think that's when we're going to be more dangerous.
Well, obviously, I think being in the right spot at the right time would be proof of your goal.
Yeah, I mean, I was just in the slot, and James was able to give me a good pass, and I was able to find the back of the net.
Gee, thanks very much.
Thanks, Wilson.
Jimmy, back up to you.
All right, Coach T, thank you very much. Claude Giroux has his season off to a great start with a goal in each of the first 2 games. 1-0 the score through 20 minutes. John Bork, Al Morganti with you after these messages.
Taco Bell's chicken flatbread sandwich is just 99 cents with 100% all white meat chicken, a blend of cheeses, and toasty flatbread. It's almost too good to be true. Why pay more at participating locations for limited time?
They're clearing the ice at the Prudential Center, and the Flyers strike first. Claude Giroux, his second goal of the season, second in as many games. Assist from James Van Riemsdyk and Matt Carl. Welcome into our Sportsnet studios. John Bork alongside Al Morganti. And Al, I like the way that this game opened up. Flyers set the tempo, especially with the Devils committing a penalty in the first 30 seconds.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you go on the road, you've got a home opener again. You come out with an advantage in this game, and that was critical. To me, the goal was terrific. I mean, Giroux's just got terrific skills, but the setup by JVR was spectacular on this goal.
Let's do that. Let's take a look at it. Really, it started out by a good play from the blue line. Matt Carl grabbing the puck and keeping it in the zone.
Right, keep it in the zone. That's critical. Just get that advantage, take it down, put it in. Now watch this in the corner. Size and strength matter. Holding a man off. That's Tallender coming at him. He sees him there. And watch Jágr drag a player through with him. I think he's dragging Zubers through with him. Puck comes back out. Great skills. But look at this. Go in. Use the peripheral vision he's got all behind his head. I know they have numbers on the helmets. I didn't know they had eyes on the helmets, 2 behind. But apparently that's new on his uniform. Right through. Just a great play. You're going to see that by Giroux. But seeing JVR use that size and strength and not just scoring the goal, going to the net, being in the corner like that, that's going to be a big plus in his game.
And if Jágr can continue to draw attention, guys will lose sight of a player like Giroux, which is something the Flyers would love. They'd be salivating if that happened.
Nobody's going to lose sight of Giroux in the crowd here in Philadelphia, I'll tell you that. That kid on the ice is just spectacular.
All right, and Flyers with a 1-0 lead, and obviously it's interesting to see because this is not a Devil style that we're accustomed to seeing, especially in prior coaches, and they've had a few over the years.
No, they want this bad. They want the offense. You see the ice time, Kovalchuk, so much ice time, pressing it up, trying to get things going there. They want the energy to be in there to get some off. They're going to struggle for some goals. They want to get them early.
All right, Al and I are going to take a break. We'll come right back right after this. All right, Flyers will take a 1-0 lead into period number 2 at the Prudential Center. Welcome back into the Sportsnet studios. John Bork and Al Morganti. It was almost 2-0. Andreas Noto with a breakaway there and would have been similar to what we saw in Boston where the Flyers scored 2 goals in the final minute.
How sweet would that have been to get that goal in addition to being the double up? You know, it's amazing here. I'm watching this and going, oh, there's 4 forwards on the ice, and who gets beat? The defenseman, Fane, over on that far side. Take a shot. Marty lets you think you get. He actually thinks he has it. Gets away from him. Get a look. You know, Nodal, that's a great goal that you get it. But obviously, Jersey pressuring. You mentioned it before. They want some offense. Pressure. Put 4 guys up there. It's a high-risk power play. If it makes sense to do that. You don't usually get beat by a defenseman getting stripped like that.
And it was interesting because Kovalchuk was on the right side. He's usually on the left side with being a right-handed shot. That wasn't the case. I think that's something that the Devils are still trying to work through. Yeah,
and you mentioned they miss people that they've had there in the past.
They still don't have a good quarterback on that power play. Ever since losing Paul Martin to Pittsburgh, you can see it certainly struggled on that play. All right, we're going to have more on our website, csnphilly.com. Al and I will talk about the play of Sean Couturier and that PK doing its job in the first period. For now, we'll send it back to the Prudential Center. Period number 2 coming up.
StayUpDealer.com. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. 1-0. Flyers with a lead after 1 period of play here in North Jersey. Look at the scoring summary. Just the 1 goal to tell you about. Claude Giroux making it 2 for 2 in terms of goals this year. Van Riemsdyk a beautiful assist. Matt Carl also getting a helper at 12:05.
The Flyers outshot the Devils. They outchanced the Devils. But for me, the period was all about the hand-to-hand combat department. The Flyers look bigger and stronger, especially the Flyers forwards deep in the Devils zone. So if the Devils are going to make any kind of correction, it would be in that department. We'll see if the Flyers can still manhandle New Jersey in deep in the offensive zone.
Well, Jaromir Jagr has not been hiding his admiration for Claude Giroux. Here's our Geico quote of the game, referring to Giroux's highlight reel goal in Boston the other night. He made a great play. I told him not even Mario Lemieux can make those plays. He was half.
Well, he admitted after saying that there was tongue-in-cheek.
Yes, because Mario Lemieux could pretty much do
whatever he wanted.
And Claude Giroux is starting to look like he could do that too, Bill, which is a good thing for the Flyers.
Well, he sees the ice like Mario does, and he passes so well. I mean, Claude Giroux just continues to climb the ladder towards superstardom.
Devils with a little power play time to start this second period as Coburn serves out his holding minor. 10 seconds remaining on it as Thibodeau clears the puck all the way down. Brodeur kept it away from Talbot. Now it's Andy Green as he starts up. Coburn back on the ice surface, and the Flyers back to full strength. That's Talbot. Pushes the puck to the middle. Pronger's there, right back for Max. Talbot in across the line, and a delayed call, but offside is the ruling from Michel Cormier.
Sean Couturier continuing to impress. The other night in Boston, he not only killed penalties regularly, but was out there in key defensive situations, including the last minute of play in a 2-1 game.
He's only 18, and he's got that veteran look with a smile, huh?
That's hockey right there.
Yeah, they go fast.
Absolutely. There it is. And
wait a minute, he had him this morning.
Well, he lost him.
So do you, Bill. Face up here at center ice. Funny how that happens, isn't it? Mad read on this draw. The puck bounces free. The Devils back to get it. Bryce Salvador, longtime Blues defenseman. Head wing feed to Josephson. Oh, deal it into the Philadelphia zone. He got it to Clarkson. Clarkson shot deflected away. Good job by the Flyers, and Reed to get back and deflect that shot. Matt Reed plays both ends of the ice. He had a giveaway in the game in Boston. Didn't see much ice time after that, but Peter Laviolette told us before the game that was not punishment, just the game situation, and they had shortened up the bench some. They were overall very happy with Reed's performance in the opener. There he is approaching Clarkson. Ronaldo gave Clarkson a hit just as he let that up out to go out to center ice, and Clarkson did not respond to that hit from Ronaldo. I was surprised. Well, this is going to be a penalty right here. Coburn's going to go right back to the box as he knocked down the Devils player Adam Henrique in the corner, and so another power play for the Devils. Coach, you had a good look at that one.
This is absolutely typical of what the league's trying to get rid of. Now, Coburn, all he's got to do is kind of push him and hold him. He doesn't have to drill him and push him right at the last second with that little shot. Now watch. Right in front of me, coming into the corner, Henrique's lined up, and he's just about, 2.5, 3 feet, and he drills him up against the wall. He doesn't need to do that. Carry him up against the wall, and you see what happens? Henrique's got himself in a very vulnerable position, both for his head and his shoulders, and that's why it's a penalty.
He didn't really want to meet you that badly, did he, Coachy? But there was Henrique going face-to-face with you down there in the corner. All right, the Devils, their third man advantage, and almost having two in a row here as Coburn had just gotten out of the box, fires steal, and here's Talbot. That pass knocked down. Elias gets it back.
Sean Couturier made that whole play happen. He just kept dogging and dogging over the blue line and finally forced a bad pass.
Remarkable ice awareness for an 18-year-old. Offside goes Clarkson. They'll face the puck off back in center ice.
And you can't teach hockey sense, and that's what Couturier, number 14 for the Flyers, has. He knows angles, he knows body position, he knows where to keep his stick. Just about stole it from Elias there, and when he finally crowded him to the blue line, that's how he forced the bad pass. I mean, he seldom loses body position.
Peter Laviolette telling us that he just seems to go into battles for pucks, and he just emerges with the puck, or at least is able to deflect it into an area where you want the puck to be. He just has that sense. Sometimes they say the puck follows players around. He's one of those guys, and it's because of that ice awareness we talked about. Larson with the pass here. Josephson on the goal line, but the pass back out, intercepted by Kimmo Timonen, who had a quietly good game in Boston. Well, it was quiet until he made a game-saving play when they blocked that shot when Brizgalov was just trying to get back into the net.
He's got a sneaky stick. He really does. As he just showed on that play, intercepted the pass and was able to get it out of the zone.
And Brizgalov will cover here as that puck was bouncing around.
Well, when it comes to fashion, I think everybody wants something fresh. So for Flyers fans, be sure to stop by the all-new 47 brand Throwback apparel store at the Wells Fargo Center. Check out the official 2012 NHL Winter Classic gear. It's fresh. It's just arrived. Pretty good. A couple of locations in the Wells Fargo Center before each game.
Winter Classic on January the 2nd. Everybody looking forward to that as the Flyers and Rangers will have at it. And that puck out to center, brought back in by Fane. Offside is called again with 36 seconds left in the power play.
I love the apparel. I mean, the Winter Classic.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to get some, whether I have to pay for it or not.
If it's free, it's me, man.
How long are you going to wait?
I don't think Pete DeBoer is thinking much about that right now, as he didn't look terribly happy with his team's power play. This particular effort, they've gone offside a couple times. Have a chance to make good here, though, as they get the puck in the offensive zone. Flyers, though, quickly to it, and Nodal tries to clear. That goes out of play.
The hustle of the Philadelphia Flyers right now are causing all sorts of problems with the Devils. Andreas Nodal, remember how many times have we been told by Peter Laviolette he just loves his ability to be able to go north-south and be able to get up on the skates and go. That's what it's all about. And when he's going, he is as good as anybody. But sometimes he gets himself into funks. And that's what happened to him last year. But right now, he's off to a great start.
Had that breakaway. Didn't even get credit for a shot on goal somehow by the folks.
Yeah, what happened there?
I do believe Brodeur made a save on it. Puck bouncing around, and it's Couturier muscling it out. And now Couturier has the puck. Those long strides, cutting in, wide, fire save made by Brodeur. Couturier back after the puck again. It's just what we were talking about. He just has a way of keeping that puck where he wants it, and he ended up with a breakaway. Brodeur had an answer for him. Now Clarkson. He'll bank it into the Philadelphia zone, chase himself. Reese to it. His pass intercepted by Couturier, who clears it all the way down.
And look at this. He lags to the icing line and not over.
Because Coburn was out of the box, so it would have been icing. Flyers are back to full strength. And here is Giroux. Ahead, Van Riemsdyk barreling in. The shot deflected away by Tallender. He's another one of those players with a subtle stick. And Tallender, he blocks a lot of shots like that. Here's Van Riemsdyk muscling his way through. Cutting in front. Lost control, and the puck was drifted to the side of the net. They jam for it there. Flyers keep after it. Here's Jagr to Giroux. Giroux had it swept away. Back to the point, kept in by Lilia. Now Jagr tried to fight off Tallender. He's sent to the wall head first. No call that time. And the puck up to the line and out. Good pass to Tedenby. Very shifty player, Mattias Tedenby, but he was straightened up there, and Lilia stayed right with him. And Lilia then finishes him off behind the net. Giroux lobs the puck out to center ice. 4.5 into this second period. Still a 1-0 hockey game. Bit of a slower pace to this second, but that first pace was headed a frenetic clip. Nice move here by Voracek, but nice recovery by the Devils as Clarkson and Larson combined to tip the puck away. Josephson the other way. Both players come together. Puck free. Clarkson. To it by Briere. Tipped it back around to the other side. Carl with Josephson on his back. Bounces free back out to Larson. Larson holding a wrist shot. That one was wide. Clarkson back out to Andy Green. Green fanning. And then Briere tips it to center and gets to it. His pass to Voracek. Voracek sent it in front off of Green into the corner where Simmons plows into Green. Puck bouncing free back out into the high slot. Simmons trying to keep it alive, but instead the other way it's Henrique. Adam Henrique to the Philadelphia line. Lost it, got it back. Green, angle shot, saved Brizgalov. Teaming in, calmly plays it to the wall, and there's Simmons. Picking up, charging up to the red line, his pass into the middle. Played by Hartnell, but offside is whistled. Some players milling around. There's some physicality here. Wayne Simmons, Bill, tends to get involved.
Yeah, he does, and he's one of the guys that Danny Briere was talking about when he said before the game that he likes this Flyers team because they can push back. Wayne Simmons is one of those guys that will push back. Bigger, stronger, a little more speed. But a lot of pushing back has to do with attitude as much as size.
Yeah, Wayne Simmons is 6'2", but he's listed at below 200 pounds, so it's not as though he's one of those guys who's all that big. Here's Reed, a shot, and it went off for Brodeur's glove and just wide. But as you say, he carries the attitude with him.
Yep.
He will hit anything, you said earlier, that moves. And it's Zubris, and across the line. That is it around behind. Tallender in deep. Try to drop it off for Tedenby. Zubris digs it free. Zubris back out to the point. Kovalchuk just barely kept it in the zone, and then it's back around behind. Timonen cuts it off. Timo will play it up the glass. Tallender trying to keep it in, could not. Couturier looking for Reed. It's broken up. Now it bounces back to Reed. He's onside. Reed makes the maneuver with it. Backhands it back out into the slot. The shot, and it went wide. Van Riemsdyk got the shot out, but it was deflected, and it missed the target. Some nifty maneuvering by both Couturier and Reed on that rush. Reed back after it in center, got it ahead. Devils nearly with too many men on the ice right there. No call made, and the puck into the Philadelphia zone. Mazaros knocked down. It's back up and battles for the puck. Poked it ahead, got it back again. Now it rolls free though to Elias. Centering pass, Lilia broke it up, got his stick on it. And the Flyers charge back. Here's Jágr up the left wing. Jágr holding, centering. Going to the net was Giroux, but too much traffic. Now, actually, that was Briere going to the net. Now the Devils go back the other way. And here's Parisi, a shot deflected away. Van Riemsdyk, Briere, and Jágr out for this shift. I just assumed it was Giroux with his line mates. They can't assume. Here's Salvador in along. Behind the net, a tackle, and that'll be a penalty against New Jersey. Elias got tangled up with Carl, and Elias will go to the box. We'll be back.
Well, we're not sure if this is a couple or if they just have seats beside one another because they haven't communicated very much. But if they're a couple, it's nice to know that they cheer for different teams and can get along. As far as getting along, the Flyers came out so hungry in this game, aggressive, taking pucks to the net, winning one-on-one battles in the offensive zone. This was in this period. Nat Reed trying it. Sean Couturier came down and blasted one. It was kind of an interesting shot selection. We've talked about him defensively. He put up big offensive numbers in the Quebec Major Junior League. I don't know how many slappers he scored on from close range, but he let one go there.
Flyers now on the power play. You see they have outchanced the Devils here thus far significantly. And they get their second man advantage courtesy of Patrick Elias, who's off for holding. Pronger dishes to Jágr. Jágr finds Simmons. Simmons will eventually find his way in front of the net. And that's his spot. Here's Pronger, the shot. Simmons drifted in front of the net, then gets to the carom, keeps the puck alive, and then lost it to Brad Mills. Mills able to clear. Pronger having difficulty with Josephson. Josephson cutting to the middle, twisting and turning, and he decides to backhand in and go off on a change. Some of the timing for Chris Pronger is still a work in progress. He only played in one preseason game after all the time off with the surgery. Andy Green pursuing this puck. Good job on the wall by Timonen, but then it bounces free and it's cleared all the way down by Green. Flyers not getting set up in the offensive zone as effectively this time around.
And they didn't retrieve, but they got it in there, and that's, I think, a big difference Jaromir Jágr is going to make on the Flyers power play. Have to get in the zone and set it up, and that's phase one, and he does so many neat things out in the neutral zone to get the zone and get the puck in.
Timonen dropping it off for Carl. Half minute remaining in the man advantage. Right wing feed. Voracek with some room to work with. Dishes. Briere shot off the post and out of play. Probably the crossbar, but definitely heard the ping as Briere, looking for his first of the year, got plenty on that.
Jaromir Jágr can dish through the neutral zone, but he can beat people one-on-one. And once he gets into the offensive zone, you know good things are usually going to happen. I mean, he carried through one time. He beat a guy. Danny Briere's shot that just went right over Brodeur's shoulder and off the pipe.
He's always aiming, isn't he, Billy? I mean, you always see him going top shelf like that. He has a real knack for knowing where the goalie is and when to go top over either the left or right shoulder.
And evidently Brodeur got a piece of that because the faceoff is staying in the Devils zone. And the Flyers gain control. Mazaros. Cross ice Pronger. Back to Mazaros. One time blast is blocked. They're sacrificing the body. Ninus Zubris has been doing that for a long time in this league. There's a long stretch pass that's intercepted and cleared right back into the Philadelphia zone. No time winding out, or winding down at least, on this power play for the Flyers. Out of the box jumps Elias. Briere into the zone. Briere holds, centers. That one goes high up in the air and all the way across the ice. And Reeves gets it back for Philadelphia. Spins it down low to Voracek. Voracek trying to center. Tallender would have none of it. And the Devils able to work the puck free. Here's Elias. He was the Devils team MVP last year. Cross ice pass. And that shot by Tedenby is, or Palmieri I should say, is loved. Be a face-off here to the left of Brizgalov. Well, now get Philly sports on the go. Be the first to know everything about your favorite teams right from the palm of your hand. Your teams right now. Download the free CSN Sports app right now. Just about halfway through regulation time. Claude Giroux's first period goal, the only one of this contest. Devils hit the puck back to Larson, and he'll drill it wide. And the Devils have now gone through virtually half a period here, Bill, without a scoring chance. There's Scott Hartnell dropping it off for Talbot. That's Talbot in heavy traffic. Green run at by Hartnell, who ended up going into the boards. It was Hartnell who got the worst of that as he glanced off of his target and into the glass and boards heavily. There's Clarkson wrapping it around, but that'll skip all the way out to Matt Reed, and he'll start back with it. Rink wide feed. He's got Timonen. Timonen drop pass. The shot Hartnell hit a leg and bounces wide. And from his knees, Reed able to make a play, and he'll spin the puck back around behind the net. Talbot mashed by Clarkson, but stays after it. Finally, it is Clarkson who comes away with the puck. Gets it off to Henrique, and he'll just lob one deep into Philadelphia ice.
So the Devils without a scoring chance, but if you're watching this game, you've noticed that the Flyers' scoring chances have kind of dried up as well. So the whole pace of this game and the way it's being played from the first period is different.
Yeah, ice seems a lot harder to come by right now. And battle here. Jágr keeping it alive, but it tipped out off a leg, and it was Parise who found it. And he moves the puck to Fane. And now Sikora's shot blockered away by Brizgalov. Into the corner. Sikora's check. Giroux will tuck it back down low for Andreas Lilia. He finds Andre Mazaros. And the pass up the middle. James Van Riemsdyk. Pass tipped away. Jágr trying to keep it in the zone, but it rolls on out to center. 8.5 remaining in this second period. Only 26 total shots in the game. That's not unusual here in New Jersey. Simmons pass to the middle, goes all the way through to Briere. Briere back through the slot, but nobody home. And out of the other side of the ice, Tedenby hit from behind. And the Devils get to it. Bolton to Tallender. Tallender will get the red line and send into the Philadelphia zone. Carl is back. He's stripped of the puck. Tedenby had it knocked away from him. Good recovery by the Flyers there. And now Voracek with a good outlet. It's on the money. Flyers move up with it. Drop pass to Simmons. The shot. And Brodeur to flash the pad out to make the stop. Now Briere after it. And Briere scrambling with Larson. It's Larson who comes away with the puck. 4th overall pick to Tedenby. And he'll flutter one deep to Philadelphia ice as the Devils will go for a change. It's been a while for the Devils to really even get a shot on goal. There's Hartnell. Got that one to the Devils zone, but right there is Fane. A lot of number changes for the Devils as Fane clears this one all the way down. It'll be icing. Even it back for the touch-up.
Well, the score's 1-0, and it happened in the first period. Let's take a look at our Taco Bell value play of the game. Now watch, everybody's going to leave. When I mean leave, watch Giroux, as he'll just find himself right into the middle. Everybody goes below the goal line. He'll get a great pass right here. And Riemsdyk right out to Giroux. He didn't miss or take any time as he drills that one by Brodeur. And that's our Taco Bell value play of the game as the Flyers lead 1-0.
You know, we've talked a lot about the chemistry between Jágr and Giroux, but that was a chemistry play all the way. I mean, he knew where he was.
Lilia's shot batted away by Brodeur. Matt Reed hustles over after the rebound in the corner. Lilia pinches, bodies together, but the Devils have it. And Kovalchuk could not handle that pass in center. Zaros wipes out, and Kovalchuk now has the puck. Kovalchuk centering. It's tipped away from Zubris. Tallender is there right back to Kovalchuk, to Zubris again for the shot. Save Brizgalov. Couturier has trouble handling the bouncing puck. Still, though, very calmly kept it away from the Devils. What composure he has. As Tallender turns with it. And now Mazzaros. Back to Lilia. And Mazzaros again had some difficulty there. He does move it ahead, and Couturier will just backhand into the Devils zone. Wonderful. Ronaldo after the puck. Sure, I'll go to a carnival.
I didn't know you were listening.
I couldn't really help it. Here's Payne with a pass. And the Devils will move up. Left wing feed to Josephson. Josephson in deep. Pronger marking him and then punishes him up against the boards. Henrique back to the point. Green in along. Carl won the race to the puck. Salvador moves in. He takes a hit from Nodal. And now it's Clarkson. Big, strong forward. And Ronaldo gets a healthy piece of him and goes down. Penalty upcoming.
And it's not against Ronaldo. I don't believe.
I don't think it is.
I think it's going to be against Clarkson.
Yeah.
As he pulled Ronaldo down after Ronaldo got him.
As the Devils touch, the whistle blows. So the roughing penalty from Dave Jackson goes against the guys in red.
Well, let's take a look at our Wells Fargo. Great check of the game with the Flyers leading 1-0. And you know, we talk about, you don't get to hold your composure. Watch this. Ronaldo, he'll take Clarkson right up against the wall. But Clarkson, well, all of a sudden will get that hand in there and drill his head right into the ice with that right hand. Ronaldo, he didn't retaliate, and as a result, Clarkson gets the penalty, and that's our Wells Fargo great check of the game.
You see Claude Giroux sitting there jamming. He was liking the music here.
Yeah, he and Ronaldo were enjoying that, but that play right there is exactly what Peter Laviolette wants to see from Zach. Initiate, don't retaliate. And he draws the penalty. The Flyers get the power play, but the Devils had the puck. Here's Elias finessing his way in. Hanging around with it. Into Raggedy. Takes a dive. Down he goes. Penalty coming up as Parisi's shot goes high and wide. And that, I'm pretty sure Elias had that in mind from the get-go, is to try to draw a penalty, and he does. Tripping the call. And Matt Carl will go to the box. The Flyer power play is short-lived.
Have to see this again because it looked kind of real when it happened.
Yep, right in between the
legs. I think Matt Carl got the blade of his stick right under one of Elias's skate blades, and when you step on another guy's stick, it's easy to go down.
Get that stick in the vicinity, never a good thing. So Carl will sit. And tonight's HD telecast is brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Larger selection, lower prices, smarter associates. H.H. Gregg, we help. As we come your way from the Prudential Center in Newark, otherwise known as The Rock, here on Comcast Sportsnet, with our great crew. Here's Jagr centering. Giroux ran out of room and steered it wide. Oh, those two are going to make some magic this year. They were just a little off there. Look out here. Larson shot. Save Brizgalov. And he's able to corral the rebound and cover up. Chances at either end. We'll be back. Well, we look back to last year, and Nicholas Lidstrom, the Norris Trophy winner yet again, 7th time, tied for second most all time, and decided to come back for at least one more year with Detroit. And he's a class act. It's a good thing for the league to have him back. And Adam Larsson is wearing number 5. We might want to point out for the Devils, some people say he has potential to be a Lidstrom kind of player. That's putting a lot on a player.
Especially when you factor in that Nick Lidstrom finished runner-up for the Norris 3 times. So he was top 2 10 times.
That's incredible. I mean, how long ago did it seem that he was shutting down the Flyers in the 97 finals? He's still going strong in 11-12. Amazing player. Right, here's some 4-on-4 hockey for another 50 seconds, then a brief New Jersey power play. 1-0 hockey game. Parisi back looking for fame, but that hopped over his stick out to center. 4:10 remaining in the second period. Tallender to Fane, who really came along last year as a fine defenseman for this Devils team. Got to play this one out of the zone. And Tallender has it back. Tallender for Elias could not hang on. They say the Flyers are onside here. Simmons, a stutter step move, but his shot is deflected. Does stay in play high off the glass. Elias trying to charge up with it, but he's caught by Briere. And Pronger will jab it back to Mazaros, and he hits Pronger. So we'll skate it up. In 8 seconds, the Flyers will be shorthanded as Pronger flicked that one in on Brodeur, and he'll hang on to it.
Chris Pronger didn't show any rust when he took the ice in Boston, having only played one preseason game. And you got to remember, he's coming off not only back surgery, which was his latest surgery, but also in the offseason wrist surgery, and then 2 surgeries last season. So only the 4 in 1 year.
Only, that's all. He has said he's seen enough of the operating table.
You think? It's amazing. I'll tell you what, he leads the league in metal body parts.
Probably in
metal
sutures,
fasteners.
too.
Yeah.
All right, the Devils, a brief power play here. Carl still 15 seconds to serve on his penalty. Jacob Josephson starts up. Talented youngster. Josephson in off to Kovalchuk. Cross ice pass could not be handled by Clarkson. Larson has it. He finds Green, who fakes the shot, gives to Kovalchuk. Fires back to full strength. Kovalchuk holds his pass, tipped by Nodal, gathered by Reed, and he will send Carl to center. And Carl lost control. Green gets it back. Stolen right back by Reed. He'll wind and blast, and it's blocked by Andy Green. And Matt Reed has been solid in this game. There he is again, stealing a puck. Bounces to the corner boards. Jágr centered, looking for Giroux. Was intercepted. Kept in by Coburn to Jágr. Jágr worked on in the corner. A couple Devils team up to get the puck away from him, and Josephson will get to Larson. Ticking down to 2.5 remaining in this second period. This will be icing on New Jersey. Lilia back for the touch-up.
Well, we're hoping everybody can save the date and celebrate 35 years of the Flyers Wives Carnival at the Wells Fargo Center on February the 19th. Here's your chance to meet your favorite players and support a great cause. Tickets are on sale right now. Call 800-298-4200 or just visit FlyersCarnival.com. Guaranteed good time.
Always a great time for a great cause. 35 of them, really. Where does the time go? Clarkson over to get to the puck. Look at out-of-town scores. A couple of those games he played in Europe earlier on today. There's the finals. And then some partial scores to tell you about. Bruins trying to get their first win. Here's Kovalchuk. Harassed, boy. The Flyers have been relentless in their puck pursuit. More of it here. Van Riemsdyk like the steal. Barrels on in. Brodeur with a save. Well, you saw it all there from Van Riemsdyk, though. Anticipation to make the interception, the power, the speed, the finesse. He steals another pass here. That one ends up in the stick of Larson, who put it off of Jágr's glove to center. Devils move up. They're onside. Here's Kovalchuk. Shot blocked. That was Mazaros who got in the way. Kovalchuk back to the puck. Moves it behind the net. Dropped it along. And now Palmieri tried to wrap it around. Save made. Brizgalov. That was looking dangerous here. Kovalchuk ricochets that one in front. Now Zubrich's shot. And that one deflects and goes wide. Van Riemsdyk trying to clear. Cannot. Palmieri keeps it in. They'll fire it to the vacant corner. And the Flyers get to it. Mazaros will clear. Ahead. Reed takes a heavy hit. Keeps the legs moving, but there's Salvador to get to it. Zubrich checked by Couturier. And it slipped out to center ice by Palmieri. Back out for Coburn, and he'll wind it right back into New Jersey ice. Teaming it. Cardinal, as you hear, we're entering the final minute of this second stanza. No scoring in this period. Teaming in across for Coburn. Coburn, a wrist shot, goes off a skate, cross ice. Reed is there. Tried to bank it to the point. It was tipped. Timonen does well to get it back for Philadelphia. To Coburn, and now in center. Couturier had a little trouble controlling that. They say the play is onside, and Teddenby right in front of his own net, nearly lost it to Simmons. Brad Mills there to bank it out to the center ice area. 25 seconds remaining in the period. There's Salvador. Cross ice. Anton Volchenkov. They call him the A-Train. Oh, Simmons with a big hit on a guy who's known for throwing the hits. Volchenkov. Simmons got a big piece from there. The puck then skipped out of play.
No free passes when Wayne Simmons is around. This is a play that James Van Riemsdyk put together earlier. We didn't see much of this explosive speed in Boston 2 nights ago, but he let it rip on this one. Great leg drive, and as we saw so many times in the playoffs last year, JVR can drive the net from both the right side and the left side. Not many guys can.
In the playoffs last year, he made it look, quite frankly, Bill, easy. the way he was flying around out there, and try to find that again. This year, redirection, try there, save. Brizgalov, rebound back in front. Brizgalov sliding across. It may have been blocked in front as Sikora popped it out into the blue paint. Somehow it stayed out, and Brizgalov and the Flyers are ahead with 2 periods now complete. No scoring in this period, but the Devils certainly came close here, Bill.
That they did, and the guy that's making things look pretty easy as well is Ilya Brizgalov. That was a deflection that he had to react so quickly to, and I'm not sure Andreas Lilia didn't make a save for Brizgalov on that last chance.
Tonight's Flyers-Devils second period was brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Downstairs we go. Coatesy set to chat with 18-year-old Sean Couturier.
18 years old, that's right. And, you know, typically rookies spend some time sitting where we are right now watching. But obviously you got to feel pretty good about the fact that Peter Laviolette has the confidence in having you out there an awful lot.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm just taking the opportunity I get and just make the best out of it.
Where's your mindset right now? Because certainly from where we're sitting, you seem very comfortable out there. In fact, taking that big slap shot there in the breakaway. Give us your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stay myself, pay attention to little details and work hard. And I mean, just trying to help the team win.
I got to ask this for Billy Clement. He wanted to know, did you score a lot of shots on shots like that where you took that shot in close on that big slap shot?
I saw the right corner, so I tried to aim there, but I fanned on it at the end. So,
Sean, thanks very much. Continued success.
Thanks.
Back up to you, Jimmy.
All right, Coachy, thank you very much. He'll get his goal. Don't you worry about that. Taco Bell intermission coming up. John Boric, Al Morgani with their analysis of 2 periods here from New Jersey. There's your score.
Welcome back into Flyers Intermission Live. No goals in that second period. Devils out shooting the Flyers 10-7 in shots. And if you want to go back to the Boston game, Flyers now working on a streak of 110-plus minutes of shutout hockey. And so you can see defensively how well that they have performed, but it doesn't mean that they have sacrificed performing on the offensive end. Certainly showing a few scoring chances there in that second period, Al.
And despite the fact that the no goals, the physical play that they've had, they said coming into the season, get bigger on the wings, play more physical, and that's exactly what they've done, okay? They go, Reed comes right to the net, and watch, everything's going toward the net. Not easy to do. Come in, get pressure, back people off. Make it so that you're going to make it difficult to play against. Even if you don't score, it's a pounding game. Again, JVR, stick down, going to the net, and Briere following up, going through it. You can maybe cover one guy going toward, 3 Flyers coming there toward the net, playing real physical hockey.
Flyers have killed off 4 Devil penalty or 4 Devil power plays so far, and your best power play killer is your goalie sometimes, Ilya Brizgalov, and so far through 2 periods, 17 saves on 17 shots. I mean, he's been really good. Got a little bit of help from Andreas Lilia there at the end of the period.
He did, but the anticipation of the shots, the fact that it doesn't look like acrobatic saves, sometimes you have to do it, but it's better if you're just in position, you see things happening, and it's very impressive coming to a new team, a bit of a different system, playing behind other defensemen that you're not that familiar with, that he's so comfortable in this system already and right there for the shot where it's going to come from.
All right, Al and I are going to take a quick break. We'll have more on that second period when we return right after this. Well, for the second straight game, the Flyers will take a 1-goal lead into the third period. It's Claude Giroux. His second goal has been the only tally so far of this game. Of some of the less publicized moves that the Flyers made this offseason, the trading of Darryl Powell to Minnesota, placing Blair Betts on waivers. He was then picked up by the Montreal Canadiens. 2 outstanding penalty killers. And if you were wondering how are the Flyers going to fill these roles, certainly it hasn't been a challenge so far.
No, and Richard's gone too, so it's been, you have to fill them in. They've got chances on this penalty kill tonight. So, I mean, this has been really impressive what they've shut down, obviously, New Jersey in their home opener wants to crank it up on the power play with Kovalchuk there. You saw in the first period, there we go, right in. Look, could have been a double to lead there. Nice play by Brodeur, even though he puck got away, blocked that corner. Have to do it again. Nodal with the shot that could have doubled it, but that's pressure. And then you see it in the second period, again, going to the boards, and my gosh, doesn't this kid's name come up time and again? Break in. You know what's really impressive about this? It's good enough that you get the breakaway. but he does the interview with Steve Coates on the bench. That's only Marty Brodeur that he's coming in at. He's 18 years old without any front teeth. He comes in and he's like, well, I saw a spot there on the right hand. I probably would have had a fan on it. The kid's got confidence, and he's making a really tough decision. He's going to make it a really tough decision if he keeps doing that. And the coach is doubling it up because he's putting him in great spots.
Well, I'm going to say this. He continues to play like this. I don't know if it's going to be a tough decision.
Well,
you keep him here, right?
Wow, yeah, like this, you're absolutely right, because this is a tough spot, and he is showing absolutely no nerves whatsoever.
And if you're thinking, when was the last time that they've been in an instance like this? Remember Lucas Abisa, the defenseman? He was here. They decided he played well in those first 9 games. Might as well keep him for the season. So Sean Couturier on his way. That's going to do it for us. For Al, I'm John. We'll send it back out to the Rock. The Flyers leading 1-0. Will it hold up? We'll see how it plays out right after this.
And here is the answer to our Jeep trivia question of the game. Which former NHL franchise eventually became these New Jersey Devils? The answer was A, the Kansas City Scouts. Our next broadcast will be the home opener for the Flyers. Roberto Luongo and the Vancouver Canucks come to town on Wednesday night as the Flyers finally get to play in front of their own fans at the Wells Fargo Center. Flyers Canucks, our coverage begins with a pregame show at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, all on Comcast Sportsnet in high definition where available. Third period action between the Flyers and Devils after these messages. Great. And by Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum taste.
After our professional runners, we take them as a team, and then we bring them back. $1 million quarter mile. We talking or we racing? We don't ever let them get in the cars.
Fast 5, own it now on Blu-ray and DVD. Great action there, great action here. Flyers, Devils. Flyers with a 1-0 lead as we get set to start period number 3.
Oh, the Devils closed the gap a bit in that period, but it was still pretty evenly played. If the Flyers can get back to moving pucks in deep to the Devils zone and kind of reestablish their skating game. A couple of new captains, Zach Parise on the left, Chris Pronger of the Flyers on the right. Parise was just named captain last week, and he's the obvious choice for the Devils.
Very interesting choice, too, though. He is in the last year of his deal. Here he is trying to get that pass, but it's broken up, and the play is offside.
Take a look at our Fast 5 ice time leaders through 2 periods. Matt Carl, in spite of the fact that he spent a couple of minutes in the sin bin, leads the way with Kimmo Timonen and Chris Pronger right behind. Attention to detail for Peter DeBoer's guys. Ilya Kovalchuk, a forward. That's not unusual. It's unusual for most teams. Not an Ilya Kovalchuk team to have a forward leading the way in ice time.
Forward first, and the 18-year-old defenseman second for the Devils. As Timonen from the red line flutters that one into the Devils zone. Bouncing free, Nodal centering, and it was out of the reach of Ronaldo. They get to it now. Talbot take it to the boards, face first. Stays after it. Ronaldo piles into another Devil. That was Josephson. Kovalchuk the other way with the puck. Sends it in. Timonen first to it. Went off his stick right out in front. Nodal played it, but not out. Here's Tallender. A shot sails high off the glass. Fane from the point. Stick save. Brizgalov back out to Tallender. Now Kovalchuk. Kovalchuk had it chopped away by Nodal out to center.
Another strong play. Now, a lot of people in training camp were talking about Couturier and talking about Braden Shen and wondering where there was going to be room for Andreas Nodal. There's room.
Here's Briere laying it up, the shot in. Brodeur makes the save as he stopped Voracek, and then another quick shot off the pads of Brodeur. Another turnaround shot by Simmons goes wide. Carl off the shin pad of Voracek. He gets back to it, but is checked by Sikora. Simmons, though, again, just hustling back to get to the puck, recaptures and flings into the Devils zone. Well, if you like effort, you're going to get it every shift from Wayne Simmons. But he just does not take any time off.
Well, he covers a lot of ice. Look at him here again.
There he is along the wall with the puck, moves in with it. Simmons all the way around behind, has a look, and then just turns it through the slot, but nobody able to get to that. Tedenby stood up by Mazzaros, and there's Simmons on the puck again in center, and he'll backhand in. But from his side of the red line, that's icing. That's a mistake by Simmons, because that means the Flyers have to keep the same players in the ice, and they have some tired guys out there.
Well, last year was not a very good year for the New Jersey Devils. You see, they missed the playoffs for the first time since 95-96. They started off with a gentleman that was a great player here, one of their all-time leading scorers, John McClain. Look at the first half. That was John McClain. Then all of a sudden they brought back Jacques Lemaire, and all of a sudden things got better, and they were the best in the NHL. Well, they came up a little short, but John McClain just didn't seem to be the right fit. He was a great offensive player, but that's not really indicative of being here with the New Jersey Devils as far as the coaching position is concerned. They like guys that play a little bit more defense, and Lou Lamoriello, he's the leader of the pack when it comes to that mindset.
That shot handled by Brizgalov from Clarkson. The Devils last year with the NHL's worst first half record, 10-29-2, as you look at Pete DeBoer, their coach this year. And Jacques Lemaire came in last year, and they had the NHL's best record in the second half, 28-10-3.
Well, I think there are two things in a Lou Lamoriello team you can be sure of. Number one, they're going to try to outwork you every night. And number two, they're going to be strong defensively. They were that last year. They've been that way forever, whether it's Peter DeBoer or anybody else. That's what you can expect from the Devils.
Hayden Coburn trying to find that puck. Reed will send it back around behind. Timonen trying to track it down. 2.5 into the third period. A one-goal hockey game. The goal's hard to come by in some of the early NHL games this season. Here's Hartnell moving in. Pass to the middle. The shot. Reed. He scores! Hartnell the interception. Reed the payoff. And he has his first NHL goal, making it 2-0 Philadelphia as he scores for a case of Tasty Cakes.
Man, I'll tell you what, there aren't many feelings like this, scoring your first NHL goal. And Matt Reed, I'm sure inside is doing cartwheels, but he's got a pretty cool exterior. Great play by Hartnell, too.
Boy, I tell you what, Matt Reed puts in a perfect position. He's the trailer, and Kovalchuk can't get to him because he's a right-hand shot, and he just let the shot go quickly, getting Brodeur moving from right to left. So everybody in Bemidji, Minnesota tonight is having a little fun because their boy scored his first goal in the National Hockey League.
Well, and he can say he scored his first goal in the NHL against the guy who has more wins than any other goaltender in NHL history and a surefire Hall of Famer. Penalty coming up here. So the Flyers now with a 2-goal lead, and they'll go to the man advantage as Giroux draws the penalty on, I believe, Elias.
Yep. Boy, this could be a dagger right here. Here's the play by Hartnell. Corralled the puck in the neutral zone and then dished to the middle. The Devils, because of the turnover in the neutral, had no chance to recover. Ilderson, Ontario, that's the birthplace of Matt Reed, 25-year-old rookie, so he's not a kid. After 4 years at Bemidji State, he's a veteran player that the Flyers knew would be mature enough to play in the NHL.
Flyers go to work with the man advantage. Here's Pronger dishing to Giroux. Giroux back to Pronger. Again, patience here. The pass to Yager. He triggered it wide. Now Mazzaros. Simmons hit into the boards awkwardly, but he appears to be all right. Back to Pronger. And now it's Giroux. Simmons goes to the area in front of the net. Pass down low the back door. Mazzaros, but his shot went wide and it trickled up over the glass and out of play. They're going to move the face-off out to center ice. Mazzaros sneaking in the weak side there. Not happy that he missed the net. 2-0 hockey game. That's us at the top of the screen, along with our great crew coming your way from Prudential Center. Devils opening up their season. Flyers playing game 2 of theirs. The Flyers have the 2-goal lead. It's not easy to beat the Devils in their first game of the season when they're at home. 12-1-6 in franchise history. They've lost 1 game in regulation time when opening their season at home. As you had a look at the McDonald's power play payoff contestant. Briere is checked there by Tallender. And the puck is cleared all the way down. Timonen starting back up. Long stretch pass. Van Riemsdyk did deflect it, so no icing. Brodeur will give to Tallender. Tallender up the glass. Smothered by Timonen. Moved it back. Tallender after it. Van Riemsdyk after him. Timonen still trying to keep it in, but finally it is pushed out to center by Parise. Flyers have it back. Timonen rink wide for Matt Carl. And he lost it to Parise. Look out. Parise with a pass, but it went off the skate of Josephson. Timonen then takes him to the wall, but Josephson carries on with the puck. Played it back out to the neutral zone. Volchenkov has it there.
Going to talk about eating up the clock and making sure the Flyers get pucks in deep, but here they are now in their own end again.
Oh, Kovalchuk is shot, and that was a knuckler that Brizgalov stayed with. Now Simmons dashing back the other way. Simmons cutting to the middle. Simmons holding on and then turning back with it. Wayne Simmons, good play. Back out to Pronger. Pronger to Mazaris for the blast. Save, rebound, Simmons, he scores! Wayne Simmons set the whole thing up, and then he gets the payoff as he muscles it home from in front. Power play goal, and the Flyers take a 3-0 lead as they score for a case of Tasty Cakes. Actually, I believe the power play may have just ended.
Who cares? Let him have one. The omnipresent Wayne Simmons. We've talked about his speed and we've talked about his tenacity, but he's got hands too. He pulled this puck away from Brodeur. Watch this. He had to pull it to his forehand and take the shot, and Danny Briere was able to finish it. But Simmons made it happen in the neutral zone, high in the offensive zone, up. It wasn't Briere, and it wasn't even Giroux. I think that was it. Was that a devil's stick, Coatsy?
It's hard to tell, but how about the distance he traveled? He's the one that set it up from the sideboards to get it back to Pronger to be able to get that shot from the point.
So Simmons has his first as a Flyer. He scored plenty in the preseason, had 4 of them, but this one counts. And the Flyers have a 3-goal lead, and they're looking for more here, as that was Hartnell in close, but he was checked. And that was an even strength goal. 3 seconds after the penalty to Elias had expired, Simmons got that puck.
So he doesn't get the Tasty Cakes?
Oh, he still gets the Tasty Cakes.
Oh, okay.
They're just even strength Tasty Cakes instead of power play Tasty Cakes.
Okay.
If there's a difference. They're all good, Bill.
I know. I gained 15 pounds on them when I was a Flyer.
I think he's
very
waiting.
Easy to do.
Timmy's waiting for you to offer him again.
You got any?
When we get back home, Bill, I don't have any on the road with me.
Okay. I'm serious. They used to stock cases in a room right beside our dressing room, and I think I gained 15 pounds in one season.
Wouldn't be bad for the ride home after the game, but I don't have any with me. Here's Max Talbot to the side of the net trying to jam that puck in. And now Talbot to it. Talbot ridden into the boards by Green. 6 minutes into this third period. We've got another penalty coming up. Sticks get up. Ronaldo involved there with Clarkson. But Dave Jackson has spotted another foul here. Let's see what the penalty is.
Looks like David Clarkson might be headed again. Another look at the goal.
And there's where I'm talking about the distance. He's the one that was on the far boards, got it back to Pronger, got it back to Mazaros for the shot, and you see that he's 6'2", 183 from Scarborough, Ontario. His 4th year in the National Hockey League, originally a number 3 pick of the Los Angeles Kings, but this guy, and we saw that when he played for the Kings. He never stops working, and he was the one that did all the work in allowing him to score that goal for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Well, so much of the talk has been, where will the scoring come from, with Jeff Carter and Mike Richards and Billy Leno having departed. Flyers think guys like Simmons can chip in with a good solid amount of goals. Here's Jágr barreling in all the way around behind, then stop trying to get back to it, but the Devils able to clear. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Devils. Clarkson in the box. Flyers another power play. Here's Jágr in. Dropped it. Oh, Giroux finessing his way around a checker. Back in front for Jágr, and he jammed it wide, perhaps off his stick. Now it's Pronger. To Giroux. Has a look. And then sends it along for Jágr. Jágr takes it around behind the net. Back out in front, just tipped away from Mazaros. He got a lot of vision. Creativity with Giroux and Jágr out there together. Here is Giroux in. His pass all the way across to Van Riemsdyk. AVR now back out to the point. 50 seconds remaining on the power play. Timonen makes the return feed from Voracek and then gives it right back to him. Voracek moving on in. His shot goes off the outside of the net as he was bumped. Oh, just as he took that shot. Then heavy hit along the boards on Giroux. He gets right back up. Hopefully he is okay. Here's Mazaros with the puck. Cross ice. And the Flyers trying to control. It's Carl. Flyers changing as Carl hangs on to the puck. He gets it to Van Riemsdyk. Now to Voracek. Voracek to the point. Blast by Timonen. Save in tight by Brodeur. If it got through, there was a lot of traffic in front. And then Parise clears all the way down. They can begin one more rush with this man advantage. There's Voracek. Gets it in across the line as Clarkson exits the box. Just over 8 minutes into this third period. Flyers with a 3-goal lead. Scored twice here in the third. Callender back around to the other side of the ice. Fane bumped into by Reed. Wherever there's a devil, there seems to be a Flyer. Now Fane just clears it all the way down. This will be icing on New Jersey as Coburn will go back for the touch-up.
And we want to remind everybody that tickets for this season are now available. You can see the new guys like Brizgalov and Simmons and Reed. Some active players already, and the established stars like Giroux and Briere, Captain Chris Pronger. Everybody's after the Stanley Cup. Call 215-218-PUCK or just visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com to get your tickets right now.
Look at those 3 games. Vancouver, it's the home opener to begin with. You got the defending Western Conference champs. You got LA, and before we talk more about that, we got gloves on the ice, and Clarkson, and Simmons go! Down goes Clarkson! He pops right back up. Simmons caught him with a right, and down he goes again! Wayne Simmons takes on a tough guy, Clarkson, and puts him down not once, but twice, and then heads to the box. So Wayne Simmons showing he can do it all. And Reed got his first NHL goal, and then Simmons his first as a Flyer. It's 3-0 orange and black.
3-0, the Flyers lead the Devils. Now David Clarkson's leaving the ice surface. We'll get an update on that. But they were having a little conversation, Wayne Simmons and Clarkson, before, and then they decide, okay, we're going to drop the gloves. Watch this right hand by Simmons. Okay, they're holding. Now all of a sudden, here comes the right hand. Oof. Down goes Clarkson. But if you look at it, Clarkson doesn't get up by himself. It's a matter of Clarkson saying, guess what? I'm going to need help. And Simmons does it. He picked him up and said, I'm not done with you. Watch this again. Pokes him back up and says, here, we're going to keep going at it. That is outstanding.
Yeah, I guess Wayne just wasn't done with him.
We tagged him right on the chin.
And to add insult to embarrassment, Clarkson gets the minor here. We haven't got an announcement yet whether it was instigation, but he was taken off the ice, so apparently 2, 5, and 10 will wait. Flyers back to the power play. There's Briere. Voracek. It's unsportsmanlike conduct on Clarkson, not instigation. Here's Van Riemsdyk now. Dealing it to Voracek, back out to Timonen. Flyers have not had a shot on goal in their last 4 power plays. Voracek a blast here. That one bounces wide and is tipped ahead, but not out of the zone. Kept in. Voracek. And that one sailed over his head off the deflection. Then it's backhanded down the ice by Henrique. Dave Prince. McDonald's power play payoff contested. Flyers have not scored with a man advantage. They scored just after a power play had ended. Here's Jágr wheeling his way through center. Here's to Briere. Back for Jágr. He could not make contact with that. Tallender able to bounce that one past Mazaros and out to center ice. Here the Flyers right now 1 for 9 on the power play this year, but still seems like it's going to be a strength as the season rolls along. Brodeur played at Tallender. Now knocked down by a high stick. The faceoff will go all the way down into the Philadelphia zone since they're on the power play.
Jaromir Jágr is going to make this power play better, not just because of how he plays once the puck is into the offensive zone, but twice on this power play, especially the first time he brought the puck up on the ice. One-on-one, he beats people, and once you beat one penalty killer, you can usually have pretty decent penetration of the offensive zone and setup, and that's what Jágr brings. So you combine the speed that the Flyers have now attacking the line, Jágr's ability to attack the line. I think they're going to be a better power play. They'll almost, I think, certainly finish with a ranking higher than 19th is where they finished last year, 19th overall.
Here is Jágr for Giroux. Flyers, of course, with that 3-0 lead, can be very patient. And now Giroux navigating his way in across the line, peels back, looks for Mazzaros. Mazzaros away around behind the Devils net, got it in front. Yager was there, but now Pronger is upended. Another penalty on the Devils. Wow. Pronger was upended away from the play. He was a little shaky getting back up. Hopefully he's all right. Delayed call here. Giroux all the way across for Van Riemsdyk in front, and another flyer knocked down. As the flyer was buried in front, the Devils completely losing their composure here in the third period. Fires another power play.
Well, the score was 1-0. Oh, yeah, it was a little tight heading into the third period. And then all of a sudden, the New Jersey Devils saw something. Wow, it just absolutely came at them. 2 in a row, Matt Reed and then Wayne Simmons both get their first goals. Now Matt Reed's first NHL goal, first Flyers goal. Matt Reed just gets a great pass here from Scotty Hartnell. He's the trailer, and he drills it by Brodeur coming off that far pipe, and it made it 2-0. Now watch Simmons gets himself into the middle in front of Brodeur, fights off not one but two Devil defenders, gets the shot from the point, he gets the rebound, and that made the score 3-0, and that is our Toyota turning point of tonight's game.
Yeah, that last replay showed definitively that it was Simmons that just stayed with the play there and was able to get his stick on the puck all the way into the net.
Yeah, I think at some point here the Flyers want to score a power play goal. They're getting a lot of practice in the power play in this game, as the Devils have had a consistent parade to the penalty box. Bolton goes 2 for interference, 10-minute misconduct. Palmieri serving the minor. Voracek heading off to Briere. And now it's Timonen, forced by Mills and forced out to center ice. And Mills ends up with the puck, and he'll send it in. Now, as Peter Laviolette said, when you're winning, it's sometimes easier to teach. People are upbeat, and there's still things the Flyers have to work on, and power play would be one from this game, as they have not had many shots on goal with their power play here over the last 4 or 5 chances. Pronger is back, already halfway through this man advantage. And he starts up. He'll turn 37 on Monday. Giroux to Mazzaros. Back to Giroux. To the point. Pronger, the one-timer, deflected, rolls to Brodeur, and he'll cover up.
Well, don't forget to plan your next party with your coworkers, your friends, your family. You'll leave them talking about it all year long, too. You can watch live Flyers hockey action from a Wells Fargo Center suite and experience incredible food options, wait service, VIP parking. And don't forget, Eagles pregame live. Oh, no, only kidding. Only kidding about that part.
Maybe you can watch Eagles pregame live on the television set in. There you go. As the Flyers have the puck, Chris Pronger to Jaromir Jagr. Jagr from his backside got that pass to Giroux. Tried to get back to the point, but it winds up on the stick of Elias. 17 seconds remaining on the Flyers power play. Parisi with a shot blocked off. And now the Flyers get it back. 7:20 to play. Flyers not really getting a lot of momentum from these power plays. Possible it's in the back of their head. They have the 3-0 lead. They don't want to be too aggressive, but here's Voracek. He gets the legs moving. Voracek, nice pass to Briere, but he couldn't handle it cleanly, and then he knocks the Devils player down, and the Devils will get a power play. Delayed call, and they're off. Oh, they say onside at the line. Wow, that looked well offside from our angle. But we're high above the ice surface here in Newark. We'll trust the linesman out in front. That shot blocked off by Carl. Missed by Van Riemsdyk. He thought he touched the puck, but no whistle. And now he does, and there is the whistle. And a power play for the Devils. 6:42 to go. They get a goal here. They're back within 2. You never know. The Flyers want to finish this game strong. They've played a great game for 2+ periods, Bill. You always want to finish it playing well.
And they'll call upon, I'm sure, the young guys, their young guns, to kill this. John Couturier, Matt Reed. Danny Briere just had that in his skates. I mean, there's no question Briere is still looking for chemistry and looking for knowledge on how Jake Voracek plays, how Wayne Simmons plays. Well, Peter Laviolette has Danny Briere with different line mates out of necessity just because of the changeover. He also has Scott Hartnell, who's used to playing with Danny Briere. He needed a veteran presence for Sean Couturier and Matt Reed to play with, so that's where Scott Hartnell's playing.
Puck frozen here, 8 seconds into the power play. I'll drop the puck to the left of Ilya Brizgalov, who is stopped all 19 shots fired his way in this game. He has been solid. Couturier wins the draw, and Pronger punches it all the way down the ice. Ilya Kovalchuk back to get to it. The crowd here trying to urge the Devils on as Elias flipped it, but he put it into the Philadelphia bench. Sergei Bobrovsky. And that one bounced off of him on the bench.
Now, don't forget premium Flyers experience. That's what it is. That party I was talking about with your coworkers, do it from a suite and reserve it today. That's what the food looks like. It tastes just as good. Private bathrooms, wait service, it's all there. I'll be there with you. I promise I'll stop into every suite the night you're there. Call now.
Okay.
389-9500.
Each and every one he's
I will
hit.
be there.
All right.
You just have a sandwich for me. I'll be in every one.
If it's free, it's Bill. Here's Steven.
If it's food, it's me.
There you go. He's no rhyme, but, you know, whatever.
If it's free food, it's really me.
Steven and up the wall, got that out to center. Elias to the puck. Halfway through this New Jersey power play. Pronger breaks that play up at the Philadelphia line. And the Flyers in no hurry right here. And finally ascended the length of the ice. Timonen firing it all the way in on Brodeur, and now Kovalchuk. Kovalchuk's pass makes its way through. Nice little move by Tedenby, but again, the Flyers just all over the Devils, and it's Mazzaros who took it away and backhanded to center. Mark Fane will try to slip that pass on the right wing. Coburn's there, couldn't get it through Zubris. Zubris back to the point. Fane cross ice, one-time blast by Kovalchuk, goes wide. You know, you can't even see it. You just have to see where it ends up eventually when he fires it like that. But he missed the target. Fane to Sikora. Peter Sikora back out. Fane a one-timer. That one went wide, perhaps off a deflection. Puck into the corner. Mazzaros tried to take care of his man there. Now Coburn backhands it up the wall. There's Kovalchuk. Tried to make the maneuver on Nodal. Kovalchuk all the way across. This is Sikora. Tried to center. It's blocked. Puck along the near side. Now sent back across to Mazzaros. The power play is over. Flyers back to full strength. They did not allow a shot on goal during that New Jersey power play. Briere sifting his way through center. Finally checked by Fane. The puck into the corner. Thinking down toward 4 minutes remaining in this hockey game. The Flyers try to make it 2 wins in a row on the road to start the season. New cast of characters and trying to do well, and that's a big hit right there. Voracek went down, did not get up too quickly, and Flyers aren't very happy about that hit. So they arrive in ill humor in the corner.
There is a penalty that's being called on this play as well. It was Bradley Mills that hit him in. It almost looked like Voracek lost his balance, or at least in stopping, put himself into a semi-vulnerable position, but luckily he is up and has skated to the bench under his own power.
Little grimace. Yeah, you can see he stopped and got hit hard. Back in New Jersey, NHL face-off 2011. Game 2 for the Flyers, game 1 for the Devils. As we look at our Mazda top shelf performers, and Drew again on the board with a goal. Matt Reed's first in the league. Simmons first in the orange and black. Brizgalov's been perfect. Look at the New Jersey players. Flyers back to the power play. Mazzaros a big blast save. Brodeur, and the carom is cleared out to center ice. Mills 2 minutes for boarding on that hit to Voracek. Here is Giroux dancing in. Throws it around behind the New Jersey net. 8th power play for the Flyers as they try to light the lamp for the first time with a man advantage. Again, did score 3 seconds after one power play ended. Giroux back to Pronger. And play catch. Giroux's pass tipped. He regathers and then finds Pronger spinning it far side. Big shot, Saber, no rebound, and he's able to stop. Simmons digging in there. Simmons then took a shot and then gave a shot and then takes another one, and away they go. He will not back down.
I kidded with him when we did our Meet the Flyers show that if he plays like this, he'll be a big favorite in Philadelphia.
He already is. He hasn't even played a home game in the regular season. He's already a favorite in Philadelphia.
Well, let's take a look at our Bud Light player of the game, and yes, that's right. He's the guy that set it up, got it back over to Pronger. Pronger got to Mazzaros, and then Simmons went to the net and got the goal to make it 3-0. Then he came back and he grabbed a guy named Clarkson, who happens to be a pretty tough guy. He knocked him to the ice and picked him right up. Now who's right in front again? Battling and battling and battling. 1, 2, 3, 4 Devil players there, and they still can't control him.
They all ended up down, and he's still on his skates.
He's all over the score sheet, too.
Here's Timonen moving on in. And then he'll dish. All Wayne needs is an assist to get the old Gordie Howe hat trick. 1:05 remaining in the power play, and the Devils able to tip it out to center. Parise after it. He'll get there. Zach Parise, a shot muffled by Timonen. Carl then gives it right back to Parise. But his centering pass finds Briere. He gives to Carl. And now Voracek. Good to see he's back out there, although he's stopped by Green at the line. The play is offside if the Flyers touch the puck, and they do. 46 seconds on the power play. 2:45 in the third period.
It's a lot easier to defend when you're on the power play, but even at even strength, the Flyers have been good in this period. Just as they did in Boston, settled things down and played a complete game right to the end. And they came out here and instead of trying to nurse a 1-goal lead, turned it into a 3-goal lead and continue to look impressive on both sides of the puck.
Hartnell dumps it deep. Brodeur sends it back along the boards. It makes its way to the point. Kept in. Here's Pronger. To Matt Reed. Reed turning with it. Back out it goes. They find Reed to the slot. His shot goes off a skate and bounces across ice. Kovalchuk to it. Kovalchuk jabbing it ahead, but right there is Pronger, and now the Flyers will turn it right back into the Devils' zone. Hartnell sifting it through to Couturier. Couturier right back for Reed. So Couturier getting some power play time here. As Pronger gets to Reed. Reed to Hartnell. Hartnell back for Reed. And Couturier shot, and the save made it. Bounces back out in front, but there's Volchenkov. Power play is over. Volchenkov ahead looking for Mills out of the box, but it goes down the ice instead.
Well, that would have been something for Couturier to get his first NHL goal, too, in this game tonight. You know, early in the game, I talked about him being a fourth-line center. I had him too far down the pecking order. He's actually lining up in the third-line slot. Have to be just as good, if not better, defensively to play a third-line position as a fourth line.
You can see why, though. He is so composed out there. I can't believe it, actually, for an 18-year-old to have the awareness he has.
I can't either. I mean, it's one thing for an 18-year-old to look like he's really gifted offensively, and that's what usually happens. But to see a kid that has that much defensive instinct, prowess, knowledge, and just execution, that's unusual. You don't do that at age 18.
There's a bright future as that puck is set all the way down the ice. Talbot gets to it. For Penguin will send it back around behind the Devils net into the final minute of this third period. A very impressive performance by the Flyers. Couturier back out on the ice, chops that one into the Devils zone. And the Flyers get it back as Timonen retreats. They'll be back in Philadelphia. They'll open up their home regular season on Wednesday against the Vancouver Canucks. Sure, they'll have a great crowd, solid crowd waiting for them. Sikora picks up the puck here, but offside is whistled against New Jersey. Matt Reed, it's his first NHL goal here tonight, a night he'll never forget.
So many people wondered where the offense was going to come from with all of the goals that left this lineup. Wayne Simmons showed everybody that he can contribute. Jake Voracek in game 1 2 nights ago in Boston scored. Matt Reed got one here. Claude Giroux's already got 2. There's enough.
And that shot taken by Hallander goes off and sticking out of play, and his smothering is there. Checking has been there, and they might not need to score as many goals as they did last year. The Flyers had not been in the top 10 in terms of goals against us before the lockout. With this guy between the pipes and the way they're checking, they have a chance to be there this year.
With the guy backing him up as well. Sergei Bobrovsky, sure, he was so good last year in the regular season. So the Flyers went from possible question marks in goal to being really deep there.
Devils, one last chance here. Hallander, a shot gloved by Brizgalov, and he will squeeze it. That's the first shot he's faced in quite some time, the 20th for the game, and he saw it all the way. And one thing Flyers fans will find, if they haven't already, about this guy is he's got a lot of one-liners. See what he said about the log ceremony in Boston before the opener? Yeah, I had time to go back to my hotel room and take a nap. Came back, put the gear back on, ready to play. Draw to his right. And the Flyers gain control. As Pronger will dump it back behind the net. As they're in no hurry to make a play. This one comes to an end, and Ilya Bryzgalov, in his second game as a Flyer, has his first shutout. As a Flyer, he stops all 20 shots fired his way, helping the Flyers to a 3-0 victory. The new-look Flyers, 2 games in the books, both on the road, 2 wins. Very impressive.
Unbelievably impressive. Bryzgalov has not had to be flashy in the first 2 games, but he has been really solid. Wayne Simmons came on in this tilt to the point where he was super flashy in the 3rd period. And I thought so many guys in this win took turns for the Flyers being really good. A different period seemed to feature a different guy. Goals coming when they needed them from young guys, rookies in the lineup. It's all good so far.
All right, one of the heroes got his first NHL goal tonight. Matt Reed, he's downstairs with Coatsy.
Thanks very much, Jimmy. And all right, tell me, what's it feel like? I mean, you had a great preseason, okay? So you knew the goal was going to come sooner or later. And now it's come. You got your first goal in the National Hockey League. Tell us what it's like.
You know, it's hard to describe it, you know. Once I saw it in the back of the net, I just, like, my shoulders dropped a little bit. You know, I couldn't have been happier, but, you know, it was a great play by Hartnell to get me the puck, and I wasn't sure what Brodeur was doing. He jumped up a little bit, and I was going top corner. I got lucky, I think.
Does it make it a little bit more special that it happens to be one of the best goalies ever played in this game in Marc Brodeur?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know what, before the game, guys were like, oh, give me a hard time. You know, this will be the guy to do it on. You know, he's a legend in the net, and, you know, that's something I'll remember the rest of my life.
Congratulations. Thanks very much for joining.
Thank you.
Back up to you, Jimmy.
All right, Coatsy, Matt Reed, a night he will never forget. And the Flyers, Bill, a very impressive outing as they just smothered the Devils here in New Jersey.
Yeah, I would call it. And other than, I'll go back, other than the first 10 minutes of the game in Boston the other night, the Flyers have played just about perfect hockey.
2 wins as a result, and they've allowed all of 1 goal through their first 2 games. They finally get to play on home ice Wednesday night. Tonight's Flyers-Devils game